solving secant theta plus tangent theta equals root 3. So the first thing you do is you can turn everything into sines and cosines. So we have 1 over cosine theta plus sine theta over cosine theta equal root 3. Then we're going to combine the fraction and then multiply both sides by cosine theta. And then we can square both sides. Actually, what you should do is you should recognize that that's equal to tangent 2 theta, and that's way easier. But I know you guys, you won't do that. Instead, you're going to multiply, you're going to square both sides. And then you're going to replace that cosine squared theta with 1 minus sine squared theta. And make sure you distribute. So you're going to get 3 minus 3 sine squared theta. You can bring that over to the left hand side and you'll get 4 sine squared theta plus 2 sine theta minus 2 equal to 0. From there you can factor out a 2 and you get 2 sine squared theta plus sine theta minus 1 equal to 0. You can divide both sides by 2 and then factor. So you get that 2 sine theta minus 1 times sine theta plus 1 equals 0. And now you have to solve two equations. You have to solve sine theta equals a half and sine theta equals negative 1. So two places where sine of theta equals a half, that's at pi over 6 and at 5 pi over 6. And another place where sine theta equals negative 1, that would be 3 pi over 2. Then you have to check for extraneous solutions. Why do we do that? Because we turn things into sines and cosines and we squared and then we factored. So every time you do that, every time you square, you should check for extraneous solutions. So you're going to plug in all those solutions to the original formula. Okay, so we're going to plug in pi over 6 to the original, not the one with sines and cosines, but the one with secant. And make sure that that will give you root 3. So secant of pi over 6, that's the reciprocal of root 3 over 2. That's 2 root 3 over 3. Tangent of pi over 6 is root 3 over 3. It's a sine over the cosine, and then you rationalize. That gives you 3 root 3 over 3, and that does work. So that's a possible answer. So for that one, just plus 2 pi k, and you're good. Okay. At 5 pi over 6, that's where it fails, because secant in that quadrant is negative. So for 5 pi over 6, you're going to get a negative 2 root 3 over 3, and that's where it's going to fail. So that's a no. And then at 3 pi over 2, the secant of 3 pi over 2 is undefined, so that's going to fail as well. So you only have one answer.